Rock 95. Good afternoon. Kind of breaking in there a little bit early on that track there, but we have a special guest. We have Art Alexakis joining us from Everclear. I screwed that up. I'm waiting all day to talk to you, and I
No,
screwed your name. Sorry about
but
that.
you caught yourself. You did well on the second time. How you doing, brother?
I'm excellent. Pleasure to talk with you. You are coming back to our town here a week from Sunday, for God's sakes.
Absolutely, yeah. I can't believe I'm leaving on tour again. The Summerland tour is coming to town, and we're ready to get rolling again. We did the first leg in July. We've had a month off, and we're coming back.
Man,
It's
it's probably, one of those things where people just go crazy because with last year and a half we've had with COVID, getting back out and being together and connecting with music is a special thing. And I'm sure as an artist, you feel that same way. And it's going to be great to have you back out here.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's you nailed it. I mean, it's like we're all older guys, and we've been on the road and been making music for 20, 30 years. And now and then it just stopped. Right. And I love my life. I love being home when I was home with my wife and my daughter. I had girl energy, go out on the road, all boy energy, and that stopped for a year. And it was great. There was aspects of being home that were really great. But aspects of it that were really hard for me and for the whole family, as you know, is for everyone. And it's just great to be out there. I love just seeing people's face when Brian's playing the drums, and it's just like, God, remember what it feels like to hear rock and roll drums again? Feel them loud, feel them, not just hear them, but feel them in your body. And if you're a fan of rock and roll, that's something that you just can't. You can't do at home. You can't do it with a pair of earbuds. You can't do it with your stereo in your car. You need to have that live and just feel it. That and the bass and then the guitars, and it's all the bands on this tour are really present and just aware of that. And it's just great to be out there watching rock and roll on the side of the stage again and seeing people's faces.
Yeah, well, and I can't wait. Yeah, the Summerland tour going to be in town at the Featherstone Amphitheater, kind of the end of the summer bash. I mean, Living Color and Hoobastank and Wheatus. How did you come up with the lineup? Were you involved in that process? Did you already have relationships with some of these guys? How did that happen?
I didn't. First of all, I'm involved every Summerland. It's my baby. I've started it in 2012, and I pick all the bands. People might suggest bands to me, but usually I'm picking the bands. And I do have relationships with other years with different bands, but this year, all new bands. Didn't know any of these guys, and just love the bands. And I came up with a list of bands that were available, and I asked my agent for bands that want to tour, and Living Color. We've done a show with them about 2.5 years ago, and I was like, what do those guys cost? I mean, can we afford them? Because if we can, I want them on this tour. And then of the other bands, I just went down and saw Hoobastank. Oh yeah, Wheatus. This is what I want. I want Wheatus, Hoobastank, Living Color, and Everclear. Can we do this? And we did it. So I mean, yeah, I'm working with my management and with other guys, my agents and stuff, and their agents management, and everybody wanted to tour. Everybody wanted to be a part of this, and so far we pulled it off. And I think it's going to be a great end of the year fall tour, going to places we haven't been yet, like up in Minnesota and all over the Midwest and East Coast. So I'm stoked.
Well, we can't wait. It's going to be amazing. It's got to feel pretty good for you. I mean, you're in 20, 30 years now with this band. A lot of those people who really started with you in the 90s are now bringing their kids, and they're bringing their kids out to see these shows that they saw 25 years ago with you, and that's got to feel pretty cool to have this another generation finding out about Everclear.
It had not just Everclear, but about 90s rock and about rock and roll, because there's not a lot of rock and roll on contemporary radio or YouTube or wherever they find it. That's not what's going on, but it's there. There are new rock and roll bands that are really great, and I love the fact that when we play shows, I'd say 30 to 40% are kids who were either in diapers or weren't even born yet when we started getting played on the radio. And they're fierce. They know all the words to every song. It's just really encouraging. It's awesome.
Well, that, and some of the messages and even some of the pain with some of the songs, like Father of Mine and Wonderful. I mean,
It's universal.
those kinds of situations are still happening today. So I think a lot of people can still connect with those, and they're still relevant, those messages, even 30 years later.
Yeah, maybe the music isn't as contemporary, but to me, rock and roll is classic, and it is universal. And you're right, a lot of those themes, and themes of our other songs, are very, very relatable and very, um, just things that are present now in anyone's life. They're universal themes, and I think not just us, Living Color, um, Hoobastank, and Wheatus all write great songs. That's the one thing I look for in bands is great rock and roll songs who can write as a singer-songwriter, but in a rock and roll context. And that's exciting to me. And hopefully it's exciting to other people as well.
Is that something you were always good at? When I listen to Everclear songs, Wonderful or whatever, or I Want to Buy You a New Life, you have, even without seeing the video, you have this imagery in your head. There's a storytelling that you have. I think that is sometimes, some of the bands and singer-songwriters don't have that, but I find that with you. I'll see these pictures in my head when I'm listening to your songs, even if I don't even need a video. It kind of plays like a thing in my head where you kind of see it. You know what I mean? I think your storytelling is special. You're always good at that.
I don't know that I was always good at it, but it's something when I started writing songs, it was something I really, um, I think connected with because I love storytellers. I write from the first person a lot. And so a lot of people have the misnomer that all my songs are autobiographical, whereas some of them are. Father of Mine, absolutely. I'll Buy You a New Life, pretty much. But then there's other songs like Wonderful is taken from parts of my life, being a parent of a child that's going through their parents, me and my ex going through divorce, it's and friends of mine, watching them go through it. So a lot of times I'll write from first person, but I say that's 30% of the time. Another 30% I'm putting like combinations together, amalgams as I call it. And then 30% of the time I'm just writing songs, just creating them. And they're very personal. And if you can't tell the difference, I'm doing my job. Right.
Yeah, it is special. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see you guys again. It's because there's a special connection I have. I think just because I remember the '90s stuff, and I still listen to your stuff all the time, and we play a whole bunch on radio here yet. So I can't wait to see this live and enjoy that with other people again. Tell me about some of the playlist. I know you're going to do all the hits, but then I was reading like, oh, good, they're going to do some deeper stuff too. Can you talk a little bit about that? I don't know what songs. That's my fingers crossed on a few.
Well, Summerland is started from the beginning. It's like patterned after the old alternative radio shows of the 90s. I'm sure you remember those where they would have a bunch of bands that come out, play their hits, play a few fan favorites, then they get the hook, and just boom. Even some places had revolving stages where that you got 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on how big you were. And at that time, that stage started revolving. And by the time it hit halfway, your amps and mics were off. The next band was up, boom, their turn. And I love that idea of just like quick set changes, just like lots of entertainment, and because I want the crowd to win. I want them to have a bunch of hits to listen to. And so all the hits, it's in the contract. If you're going Summerland tour, you have to play these hits and you have to play them like they sound. You can't like do jazz versions or funk versions of a rock song. You got to do them the way people remember them. And I want you to play fan favorites. The songs go deep. Play some fan favorites. You got enough time. Maybe play a new song. Maybe play a cover if you want to play a cover. But in that context of whatever time you're allotted, you got to play the hits and songs that fans are going to recognize. So for Everclear, what songs do you want to hear?
Well, I really like Unemployed Boyfriend. I think that one's good.
Never, I would
You Make
never
Me
play
Feel
that
Like a
song.
Whore. I like that one. I don't. There's so many. All right.
I hate that song. I'll never play that song.
I'm sorry.
That's the one I will not play. I will not play. Good Witch of the North. I don't really want to play it, but you could probably convince me. But
Okay.
that song right there. No,
Well, we look back. It's going to be special. You have so many terrific songs, so I can't
thank you.
wait. Again, they're going to be in town, Summerland tour, a week from Sunday, Vettostone Amphitheater here in Mankato. Grab your tickets. It's man, I can't wait. Everclear, Living Color, Hoobastank, Wheatus. Art, thank you so much. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you in our town here in a week and a half.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Thanks for having me on.
I'm going to do one. I think you're going to play AM radio, so I hopefully is that one of you?
I'll play AM radio for you. How about that?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother.
Let's do it. Here's Everclear AM radio. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your
All
time.
good? Thanks,
Yeah, well,
man.
good. Thank you.
All right.